Stay with Sportsworld, still to come, big-time racing action. The Alistair Clark Stakes from Moonee Valley, a preview of the Golden Slipper Stakes, where two rookie trainers hope to capture the big prize. The final of the Inter-Dominion Pacing Championship, a wrap of motorsport, the canoeing comedian who's on his way to the World Championship, and football's back, rugby league and AFL.
Yes, so don't go away. Plenty to come on Sportsworld. Well, Keith Hillier and myself, we both should be pretty sad at the moment. We both did our dough yesterday at Moonee Valley. Gee, it was a tough day, Keith, wasn't it?
It was, Bruce, but racing was great at the Valley and it was fantastic at Rose Hill, and hasn't that set the scene for next Saturday there?
What about this Surfers Paradise who won the Rose Hill Guineas? We actually pointed him out, didn't we, about 3 or 4 weeks ago when he won that big race in New Zealand?
Yeah, sure. He had strung together a series of wins, so he can't take much credit. But he was sensational yesterday. He ran his last 600 metres in under 34 seconds and the last 200 metres in a tick over 22, the fastest last 200 metres for more than 6 years in Sydney.
Well, he's a superb horse. Let's go to the Rose Hill Guineas. It was an excellent ride by Lance O'Sullivan. The pace slowed in the middle stages of the race and he went to the front on the favourite, Surfers Paradise.
At the 800 metres mark, and Surfers Paradise is race clear, led by 2 lengths on Mountain Rule. In third place on the outside, Marine Drive. St Jude is bottled up on the fence, fourth, followed by Centro. Further back, King Rautai, and then Shot of Comfort. Stradmore flat to the boards. In behind those came Mobile Peter as they near the turn. A long way back is Lord Revenue with Secret Sam, followed by Count de Beers and Dodecanese as they turn for home in the Guineas. Surfers Paradise first into the straight over Mountain Rule. There's a run between them for St Jude if he's good enough. And then Centro, followed by Marine Drive and King Rautai as they come to the 200 where Surfers Paradise is the leader. St Jude's coming at him now. St Jude has ranged up to Surfers Paradise. They've come away from Centro. This New Zealander's got a great big heart. He won't give up. He's fighting back. He is all racehorse Surfers Paradise. Oh, he's good. Surfers Paradise has raced away again to beat St Jude. A magnificent Guineas win. Third is Centro.
Yes, there's something exciting about a really top racehorse. We saw it yesterday. The trainer of Surfers Paradise is Dave O'Sullivan. It's a real family affair. After the race, Cameron Williams spoke to Dave and he asked him about that ride of his son Lance's.
It was a very daring ride too, and a very good ride, but the speed was going to go right off, and I think Lance did the right thing. He let him stride along, otherwise he's going to be fighting him back there, and he may still have won, God only knows, but it was going to be far easier if he let him stride along, which he did.
As soon as he heard St Jude at his girth there, though, he just kicked. Is that his normal pattern of racing?
Yeah. He shows enormous tenacity, you know. He's just a #1 little racehorse, I think. That's how I describe him.
What are his plans now?
Well, he'll run in the Derby in a fortnight's time, all going well, and then we'll take him home from there and turn him out.
I know you don't like to compare horses, but people are going to make comparisons with Bone Crusher. Does he have the potential to do what Bone Crusher did?
They were two extremely good horses, but very different horses. Bone Crusher was one of those horses that came from the back and put in a sensational finish, and this horse is just a real little professional. He jumps, he runs on the pace, he can just do anything you like with him, and he kicks on and wins, so very hard to compare horses like that.
Well, he looks every bit as good as Bone Crusher. The Derby, he's going to be obviously the favourite. St Jude won't run in the Derby, he'll run in the Doncaster instead.
Yeah, I think he'll be a very short price favourite and the favourite and the logical winner of the Derby. And what about the O'Sullivans? Can they get a horse or what? Horlicks, My Blue Denim, Chivalry, and now this fella.
Waverley Star.
Yeah.
They can go on and on and on. Cox Plate, Surfers Paradise versus Better Loosen Up and a few others. I mean, that's what could happen in October, couldn't it?
Yeah, sure, that would be a fantastic clash, wouldn't it?
Something to really look forward to there. The other Group 1 race at Rose Hill yesterday was the George Ryder Stakes. Bureaucracy has been very consistent, and yesterday he was the #1.
Coming around the corner, Stylish Century led from Bureaucracy, Bassie's Pride, pre-record, and then Comrade and Mr. Tiz as well back as they turn the corner. In the straight, the 3-year-old Bureaucracy has raced up to head Stylish Century. Bureaucracy takes the lead coming to the 200 mark. They're well clear of pre-record, followed by Bassie's Pride, and then Mr. Tiz and Comrade, but Bureaucracy shot clear. Bureaucracy has got it one. He's dashed about 3 in front of Stylish Century. Comrade is getting home well in the last bit, but Bureaucracy wins the George Ryder. Comrade second again in 1991. Third, Stylish Century. And
yes, Bureaucracy winning. After the race, Cameron Williams spoke to one of the owners, Harry Lawton, and what Cameron said to him, he talked about the fact that Bureaucracy had 3 starts this time in. He'd run second in the Royal Sovereign, second in the Lightning, second in the Futurity, and a few people around the traps were saying he was a non-winner.
I heard that query, but last started in the Futurity, they ran the last 600 in 33.6. Now, it's mathematically impossible for a horse to better that, and all the horses behind him couldn't make up ground because of the pace up in front. when you realise he is a 3-year-old against older horses of all Group 1 winners, won all over $1 million, he's just a phenomenal 3-year-old. He's the best in the land.
He'll go straight into the Doncaster?
That's the plan. Going to the Doncaster, I haven't talked about the Jack, but that was the plan, and on today's win, I see no reason why we should change our plans.
Well, the Doncaster they're talking about, where we talked about the O'Sullivans a moment ago, they've got the favourite for the Doncaster, Fire Commander, who hasn't arrived. It's going to be some race with Shaftesbury Avenue, you know.
Yes, a great race for 3-year-olds too. I think Bureaucracy would be well in that, Bruce. I see Dr. Jeff Chapman was complaining that 3-year-olds shouldn't run in weight for age races. I think that was because he had the runner-up yesterday and was beaten by a 3-year-old.
He hasn't got a long memory, the Doc. Remember Myocard about 4 years ago, braining them in Sydney and all those weight for age races as a 3-year-old?
That's right. Do you want to make a comment on Zabil's flop yesterday, or want to erase it from your memory, Bruce?
I wish I hadn't backed him. He was I think he's... Well,
he's not putting in.
No,
sure.
he was disappointing yesterday. That was his race. Yeah. I know David Hayes had set him for that race. They thought he could go very well. And
yeah.
No, I'm not going to say he's a light of other days, but he's, at this stage, not in the top bracket. He's not good enough.
No, he is not firing.
Oh, I didn't either, Keith. The Pago Stakes was the 2-year-old race. This was the big lead-up to the Golden Slipper. Tremendous interest on a horse called Big Dreams. Unbeaten, going into the race, and he was the hot pot favourite.
Into the straight now. Pocket's got right up on the fence to share the lead with Big Dreams, who's under a bit of pressure now. Cassidy's got to get to work on him, and Umatilla's running a race on the outside as they come to the 200 mark. Big Dreams and Pockets. Big Dreams appears to be a narrow leader with Umatilla on the outside, making a real race of it now. He's pulled out all stops on Big Dreams. Umatilla is coming at him, but Big Dreams has beat off Umatilla. Oh, he's got plenty of heart, and Big Dreams draws away to make it 5 out of 5. He beat Umatilla. Now Delphinus has come from last and might get third in front of Beppa's Boy.
5 out of 5, that's exactly what Bold Promise has also done, the filly. Big Dreams, is he good enough to win for Brian Mayfield-Smith?
Well, the STC couldn't have stage managed better preludes, could they, for the Blue Diamond? He's got a great chance. Pippawa, who won the Magic Night, ran the... if her time would have won any Golden Slipper. It was better than the equal record held by Sir Dapper and Tommy Smith's filly. So, and yet to come from Melbourne is Razor Rhythm, who Blinker trialled sensationally this week, Bruce. Put her right up there with the top chances. Okay, she's going to be your saviour, Razor Rhythm.
Let's look at the market. Bold Promise is 5-4 favourite. Razor Rhythm's 8. Big Dreams 11-2 and Terse 6-1. They're the 2 top colts. Give us a tip. You've been a Bold Promise man.
Switching to Razor Rhythm each way, I think it's safe. It's the chance of a win to a profit for the place. And I don't think she'll miss the place. She trialled sensationally in Blinker. She's a different racehorse.
Well, for the first time in 6 years, I'm going to agree with you. I think Razor Rhythm will win.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's a worry.
It's a big worry. Well, Dr. Jeff Chapman was complaining about 3-year-olds running in weight for age races yesterday. Well, Dr. Grace, last year as a 3-year-old, won a weight for age race in Sydney, Doc. But yesterday, he was the top weight in the Mannion Cup and he returned to winning form.
Into the straight, Prizan, the leader over Dr. Grace, followed by Din's Joy getting right up on the fence, and then Masochistic and Our Magic Man and Savage Tosser struggling from Willie Tell and Estimable as they come down to the 200 mark, and Dr. Grace has hit the front. Dr. Grace raced up to take the lead from Prizan with Din's Joy getting the rails run. Dr. Grace, oh, he hung in a bit under pressure, but he's drawn clear of Prizan, and Din's Joy boxing on strongly. Dr. Grace, last year's Derby winner, appreciated the 2400 and beat Din's Joy. Prizan has run third, fourth is Church Street.
Do you think he can challenge in the BMW next week against Superimpose and Better Loosen Up?
Oh, I don't think that was a good guide, and even Dr. Chapman admitted that the runner-up was a restricted class horse, Bruce. Dr. Grace has a lot of ability. He's going to run a nice race, but I think he's a few lengths behind the best ones.
I'll ask you about Better Loosen Up in the BMW a bit later. The Alistair Clark Stakes yesterday, surprised that Triscay went under?
Yes, she ran her usual honest race, but as stand-in trainer Alan Denham said, they all get beaten. Yesterday it was Triscay's turn to go under, and she went under to Durbridge, who is probably a most underrated young galloper.
Yes, I wonder if he'll go now to Sydney for the
Definitely
Derby.
Going for the Derby. Well, Greg Hall will ride him.
He can stay, and he's a good horse. Let's go to the Alistair Clark Stakes. $500,000 race, hot pot favourite Triscay.
Kenny Ladder's commencing a move, and they're followed by Sir Musketeer, followed by Big Durbin and the Strategist. They're racing up to the 600-metre mark now, and Slalom King is being tackled quickly over on the outside by Durbridge, who shot to the front. Here comes Triscay into the picture with a big run, followed by Norman Invasion, and deeper on the track is Kenny Ladder. Up towards the 400-metre mark, Durbridge tackled by Triscay, the centre. Deeper on the track is Kenny Ladder as they round the home turn, a length and a half to Big Dermot, followed by the Strategist. Round the turn, 300 metres left to go. Durbridge a half length to Triscay, who's trying to get to it. They're out by 2 lengths to Kenny Ladd, followed further back then by Big Dermot, but Durbridge is still in front. He's holding Triscay at the moment, halfway down the running. Durbridge is the leader. He's nicely clear. Triscay can't get to Durbridge. Durbridge is too good. Durbridge has won the Alistair Clark Crown Lager Stakes by a length and a half to Triscay. 3 lengths away, third Big Dermot, followed by the strategist and Kenny Ladd.
Kenny Ladd's future?
Well, his plans were to be short-lived anyway before a stud career, Bruce. I think the fact that he pulled up sore will even shorten them further.
OK, the Stanley Wooden, the favourite With Me. We're about to pick the race up about 600 from home. With Me loses her position, but Dark Bow's absolutely bolting on the home turn.
Up to the 600-metre mark and Show County held together about a 3/4 of a length in advance of Dark Bow and Paklani. With Me is in behind them, followed by Street Ruffian and Lucky Dapper as they come up towards the 500-metre mark. Show County still the leader. Dark Bow in hot pursuit, a length to Paklani, a length and a half to With Me, and they're followed by Lucky Dapper and Street Ruffian as they round the home turn. Show County, Dark Bow is making a race of it on the outside as they make the home turn. They're a length to Paklani, 2 lengths to With Me as they go past the 200, the Western Australian. Dark Bow's taken the lead from Show County. Paklani down the outside. With Me can't go on, but it's Dark Bow. Dark Bow will win the Stanley Wooden and win it well, and Dark Bow comes down to the line to score full of running. It's won by 2 lengths to Show County. Paklani a length and a half back third. With Me fourth.
Yes, good win to Dark Bow. Show County, he's limited, isn't he? He's not as good as he was as a 2-year-old.
Yes, cracks under pressure at the end of 1,200 metres, and With Me was a total flop that she raced lengths below her ability.
OK, we take a break. After the break, we relive the Australian Cup, talk Golden Slip and also the Inter-Dominion. Welcome back to Sportsworld. The Australian Cup was run in Melbourne on Monday. We saw a super horse better loosen up at his absolute top. And Keith Hillier, after the race, everybody started to compare this horse with the greats of the past. Farlet was even mentioned at one stage. Tulloch was talked about in Kingston Town. Where do we put him? Where does he sit right now?
Well, before the race, sadly, I put Citizen ahead of him for that race. I'm a convert now. Hallelujah, brother. I'm on better loosen's wagon. And I think you just put him up there with the best, Bruce. He's had 7 or 8 successive wins now. He's won internationally, something that most of the others didn't do. I think he's the best since Tulloch in my mind. I rate him better than Kingston Town and Dulcify and some of the great horses of the past 2 or 3 decades. OK, so
Keith Hillier is saying he's the best horse in the last 30 years because Tulloch was at his top in 1957. Let's go to the Australian Cup. There was a lot of money for Vo Rogue. He was expected to run well. We picked the race up at the start. You'll see the lead that Vo Rogue establishes. Then we go to the home turn. You've never seen a horse travelling better than Better Loosen Up was.
And they're racing. Away they go, and Vo Rogue hunted away from the barrier, bounced out in front and landed 3 lengths in front on settling down now from Prince Salieri. A length further back, Better Loosen Up. Clark's not going to get too far back. He's gone up third on the outside of Prince Salieri, and Vo Rogue goes out about 6 or 7 in front of Better Loosen Up on the outside of Prince Salieri. A length and a half, Citizen on the outside of him. Barlandy, and back on the rail is Just a Dancer. At the 1,600-metre mark, and Small gave Vo his head, and Vo Rogue went out about 8 or 9, 10 lengths in front now of Barlandy, the bolter, going up second. 2 lengths further back, then Better Loosen Up, a length and a half to Prince Salieri, followed by Citizen at the 1,400-metre mark, and Just a Dancer back on the rail. Vo Rogue with a huge break going towards Chiquita Lodge at the 1,300-metre mark. It's Vo Rogue by 12 lengths. Vo Rogue at the 550-metre mark. High on the inside. Small gave him a crack with a whip. Clark looked confident on Better Loosen Up. Raced up and grabbed him. Clark looked again. Then Prince Salieri followed by Citizen as they race to the 300-metre mark, and he shakes up Better Loosen Up, and away he goes. This grand horse, he races away 2 in front of Prince Salieri. Then Vo Rogue, who's gone from Citizen, but the mighty Better Loosen Up is drawing clear. Oh, he must be one of the best in the world, Better Loosen Up. Look at him go over the last 100 metres. A magnificent victory. Better Loosen Up drives to the line by 5 lengths. Second, Vo Rogue ahead away. Third, Prince Salieri.
It was just so exciting. Since I've been in Melbourne, the only other horses I've seen accelerate like that were Red Anchor in the Derby in 84 and Rubiton in the Underwood Stakes in 87. But this horse sustained that speed for such a long time. And it was quite out of character for him, Bruce, because he usually wins his races in dogged fighting style. I think that he's really reaching his peak now, and we're going to see some fantastic races. And what a clash. Better Loosen Up and Superimpose next week in the BMW. Yes, there's a lot of people in Sydney think Superimpose might beat him. He's got a great record in Sydney, Superimpose. I don't think it'll be a race. I think this horse will win by lengths. No, I'm agreeing with you again. We're getting on well today, Bruce. Hard held and all alone. Right.